Auburn is set to take on LSU tomorrow night in Death Valley. Let's talk about it on this edition of the Up Tempo Podcast.
You are now listening to the War Report Podcast Network.
Yes, sir. What is up, Auburn family? Happy Friday, man. Hope everybody out there has had a good week. And we are prepared to take on LSU tomorrow night, man. Big game, big rivalry game. One more time, Blake. One more time. The annual SEC West. Some people call it the Tiger Bowl. I know some people hate it. You can call that whatever you want. But I'm fired up, man. We got to get this one because we don't know when they're back on the schedule. I know that you got your hands full tonight, brother.
Yeah, I do. I got my son Levi here with me tonight, right here in my arms. He is he's trying to go to sleep. But we got a guest picker with us tonight. I think Levi's got a big pick on his hands tonight.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we got a surprise.
Well, I wonder if Levi will turn the losing streak around. Maybe Levi will be my good luck on these picks, and I'll start to catch his daddy. Man, well, we're happy to have Levi here, man. All is good in the world. Let's go over here to the keys of the game, Blake. Let's fire this thing right up, brother. Yeah. I'll go ahead and start with you, man. I'm starting here on the offensive side of the ball. I think there's going to be a ton of big plays. There's going to be a ton of opportunities, and I just think you got to hit on the majority of them. Mm-hmm. Let's not get down if somebody's wide open in this game and you miss them. This isn't Texas A&M's defense. This isn't Georgia's defense. They're going to be wide open again. So just take a deep breath. Like always, protect the football. But I think, we've done a pretty good job with that overall. You take away the Cal game, I think we've been pretty good at it. So protect the football. And, whoa, my microphone popping. I apologize for that. And just when we get in the red zone, make the most of our opportunities. Like I talked about on a live show the other night, I think that the red zone for both teams is going to be super important. That'll be, my key for the defense as well as holding them to field goals in the red zone. What about you, buddy?
Man, look, the key to the game for me is Auburn on offense not turning the football over. I think if you turn the football over Saturday night and you give LSU extra possessions, I feel like short fields, you're in trouble. Jaden Daniels is a dude. I think he deserves to be in the Heisman conversation. I just think you have to extend drives, man. You have to drive the length of the field on this LSU defense. You have to keep Jaden Daniels in this offense off the field. Whether we run the ball, some people think we need to throw for 250. I don't think so. I think we need to pound the tater. All right. I think we need to pound the rock hot and heavy Saturday night. Use these backs, man. Jeremiah Cobb, I hope to see him. Brian Battie, all right. Jarquez, we got to get Jarquez going. We got to. And Saturday night, man, you're looking at a rush defense that's dead last in the conference, Dustin.
Right.
But if you start turning the football over, we got a problem, Dustin. We got a problem. If we have a Cal game, we got a problem. All right. Yeah. We got to protect the football, and you cannot allow Jaden Daniels in this offense to get a short field on you, man. We can't be in our own territory and turn the football over and bang, LSU right there at the doorstep. That's the last thing that can happen, in my opinion.
Yeah, you have to win the turnover margin when you're playing this explosive of an offense. Yeah. And it's weird to see, we talked to everyone's obviously that's grown up watching SEC ball surprised by what LSU's put out there. But to see the big difference, to see LSU so good at passing the ball, and then so bad at defending it, it really is just a wild thing. I guess what worries me, man, is when I look at how bad their secondary is, I just don't think we can take up. I don't know if we can capitalize enough. But this has to be the game where we break this whole 100-yard passing. It has to be, bro. Not having 100 yards.
If you don't, you're going to get blown out.
What do you think the number is passing yards? You say you don't think it's 250. What do you think it is passing yards?
I think if Auburn can get above – I'm really hoping, man, if Auburn can get above 170 passing yards, if Thorne or Robbie or combined or whoever, all right, if Auburn can get over 170, I think Auburn is sitting nice in this football game. Because I think you're going to run all over them. I do. I think Auburn's going to run the football, and I think it's going to be nice. All right. I think Battie with the change of pace, Jarquez, I think that is what Auburn has to do. I think that's going to be their bread and butter Saturday night.
Yeah, what our guy said the other night on the live show, 280 for Preston. Preston said 284 yards after missed tackles versus Ole Miss.
Yes.
Yeah, you gotta like Jarquez, you gotta like Robbie, you gotta like Petit, you gotta like Jeremiah in that situation. They're gonna break some tackles. This is the game to get 27 going. You've been calling to get 27 going. This is the time. Jarquez needs to have over 115 yards, I think.
Dustin, and I don't want to say we can't throw for 250, but we haven't. So we haven't done it this year. And I know LSU's defense in coverage is atrocious. They're terrible. But I look at our receivers, and what has our receivers done? We haven't stepped up. We had opportunities against Georgia. We couldn't bring down a catch. Balls hitting off our hands, and that's the last thing we need, brother. Is a deflection over the middle of the field. All right, and we got lucky a couple times in the Georgia game, but we haven't done it yet. So I'm not going to sit here and say that we are going to do it, even though LSU secondary is one of the worst in the country, and their defense is one of the worst in the country.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it has to be about 150. I think it has to be about 150 yards. But here's my key to that, passing wise. It has to be efficient. I think you can get away with 150 to 175, like you said, if it's efficient. If you're running the ball well and you just hit enough of those passing plays that are there to make them honor it, to make them respect it, to where they can't just sit there and load the box. But let's be real. Even when LSU's loaded the box this year, go back to the Ole Miss game, it hasn't mattered. I mean, they've struggled so much with outside run contain, like Preston talked about the other night, and I've gone back over this week and watched some stuff, and it's a struggle for them. So, man, really, I just think this is the week for Robbie, dude. And I'll say it again. It's not even – I'm not saying Robbie has to be the guy going forward. I just think this might be the week where somewhere in the game it's just like, okay, dude, he can just run wild on him. But even if it is Thorne, just be effective, man. Just hit the plays when they're there. Complete 62 to 65% of the passes. Don't turn the ball over. Like I said, if you missed a wide open guy, if we don't make the play, it's going to be there probably in 2 or 3 plays. You'll have another opportunity through the air versus this secondary. So just hit enough, be efficient. Like you alluded to, you can't lose a turnover battle on the road at night in this environment versus a team that still is more talented than you. But something that I did hear somebody say, I was listening to a podcast, and I wish I could remember who it was, but they said, this is probably the best defense that this LSU offense has faced.
Yep.
I would say that it's the most healthy that this Auburn defense has been within the last 2 or 3 weeks, obviously. And Ron Roberts has had a whole week to scheme it up. So I'm interested to see. I don't think LSU is going to score 40. I've seen a lot of people predicting this 45 to 28. This I saw 48 to 24 today, and I don't think that you're going to light our defense up like that. I really don't. Especially if we control. They can't. You said they're the worst in the conference at defending the run. Yeah. So if we can control the clock through the run game, we can keep their offense off the field. If we're getting 6-7 yards a tote, there's no need to snap the ball with 15 seconds on the play clock.
Yeah.
Get up there to the line, snap that thing with 3, get 6 or 7, and do it again. And keep Jaden Daniels off the field, because he's going to get his. And when he does get his, stay composed as a defense and get that stop in the red zone and hold him to 3. And then when you get in the red zone, score, man. Get some tutties.
Yeah, and Dustin, we have struggled this year on second down. All right. In our offense, we have struggled on second down. We cannot struggle Saturday night. We have to keep their offense off the field. I agree with what you said, man. Run the play clock down, take long, methodical drives, move the ball down the field, and we can't stall out. We can't stall out inside the red zone. You can't do that Saturday night. If you have to kick field goals in Baton Rouge, you're going to lose. That's point blank, simple. I don't care how you slice it. You're going to lose if you have to settle for 3. And we can't do it. Even though Alex McPherson is a dog. He's a dog. But you got to get 6. And I don't know if that's with Robbie coming in, red zone Robbie, or if Peyton Thorne has ironed out his issues in the red zone. but we got to make something click. I think Robbie Ashford is going to play a big part in this game, and I agree with your point on that.
Yes, sir. So Blake, I'm gonna go over the defensive side here. Somebody that I think's got to step up, right? And on the defense, somebody that I think's got to step up is going to be Keldrick Falk. And it's not. I'm not saying that Keldrick played bad. I think Keldrick played fine. Everyone that listens to us knows the way I said the season was going to lay out for Keldrick. I thought he was going to show flashes in the first 6 or 7 weeks, and at that back half of the season, when the opponents kind of lighten up a little bit, he would also be finding his groove. He's still a very young man. He would be finding his groove as a defensive lineman. I think he would really start to kind of wreak havoc as the season goes on. Need him to go ahead and kind of start turning that up a little bit this week, because we're down those bodies on the defensive line, and there's just not a lot of guys there. And he's probably going to get the start this week at end, and he's going to have to find a way to generate some pressure. He's just going to have to get it done. And he doesn't have to have some kind of big standout type game. He doesn't have to get 3 sacks or something, but just get in Jaden Daniels' face, because there's not a lot of guys down there. And he's the guy that we need to be able to do it, because he's still the most talented guy. And he's the one guy that I can look at and say, okay, bro, like, you can get it. And we need Keldrick to have a big night. Not even statistically, like I said, just getting pressure and getting in Jaden Daniels' face to where he's not just sitting back being comfortable. And then also Eugene and Larry Nixon, I need y'all to hold it down on the outside when Jaden Daniels does scramble and try to do his thing.
Yeah, and I'm going to go on the back end. All right, this secondary, I'm looking at maintaining Malik Neighbors, not allowing the big play. All right, we can't allow to get beat over the top. Guys like having Simp out there. All right, he's playing, correct?
Yes, he's good.
Yeah, he's good to go. So DJ James, all right, this secondary, Zion Puckett, we got to have a night. All right. We got to have a night. We can't allow the big play. Look, there's a lot going on with this LSU offense. Mason Taylor is a dude. All right. Their receivers, we know what they got. They got receivers year in and year out. I mean, you could say they're wide receiver U for what they're doing in the NFL right now. These dudes are freaky, and they just come out of Louisiana year after year. But my thing is, man, do not get beat over the top. These dudes are a different type of receiver than we've seen so far. We did a great job with A&M. Right? I mean, Anaya Smith. Look, this is a different atmosphere than Kyle Field. All right. They hyped that place up, but this atmosphere Saturday night is different. All right. And you start giving up big plays, and that LSU offense starts really clicking and rolling. We could find ourselves in some trouble, Dustin.
Yeah. And let's not kid ourselves, Blake. This is probably going to be a very tight game in the fourth quarter, and it's probably going to end under some super wild, crazy. Is the last Auburn versus LSU game as SEC West opponents not going to be crazy?
Yeah.
Come on, man. This might be the wildest one of all, if it can get any crazier than what it's got. So, yeah, man, just make the plays, hang in the fight. Like you said, we have not faced an atmosphere like this. We're not going to face an atmosphere like this. This is the toughest one on our schedule this year. We knew that going into it, that and in the way that we were so happy to get the night game versus Ole Miss. It's funny because LSU never gets day game. Like, they always get a night game. And I know that if I was ESPN or somebody, I'd be trying to give them a night game too. Like, I want to sell that atmosphere.
Yeah.
But it is interesting to me. Like, I've known the whole season we were getting them at night. It was never a question to me. They don't do 11 o'clock games. And when they do, like last year versus Tennessee, they get smacked in the dirt. But it's a different animal at night, brother. And that's why I said Tuesday night, you got a whole bunch of veterans. And it's time that they act like it. A guy on offense I need to step up, Avery Jones. You can't have high snaps, dude. We can't have high snaps Saturday night. You've had a week to work on it. You've played a whole lot of football, brother. Like, you know how to snap the ball the right way, and we just can't afford it.
I need Rivaldo Fairweather, our tight end group, to step up. Every guy in that room needs to step up Saturday. Our wide receivers need to step up. I'm tired of seeing it. All right, in every aspect of the game. All right, I need you to make a play down the field. I need you to make a play. All right, Shane Hooks at A&M didn't make a play. MJJ Georgia didn't make a play.
Yep.
Right, give me something. Give me something. Excuse me, because I'm sitting here and I go back and I watch that Georgia game. If Malcolm Johnson Jr. brings that ball in, Dustin.
If Rivaldo brings that one in, Blake.
If Rivaldo brings that one in, where are we at right now? Where are we at right now? We're not 3-2. I don't think we are. Where are we at right now? So I need our receivers to step up and make a play. I need our tight ends to block better, man. I'm sick of seeing it.
Yeah,
I'm sick of it. I need effort Saturday night, and I'm tired. I'm tired of seeing us just stall out on drives. All right, I need us to put the ball in the end zone Saturday night. Put the ball in the end zone. If you do that, you can be in this football game. Do not settle for 3. All right, Avery Jones, like Dustin said, no high snaps, brother. 4th and 1, get it down.
Come on, man.
All right, because you're going to have to go for it Saturday night. There's going to be a point in the game where you're going to have to go for it on 4th down, just like we did in 21 with Bo Nix. There's going to be a point in the football game Saturday night. You're going to have a 4th and 2, a 4th and 1. You're going to have to go for it. Get it together, man. Somebody step up and make a play.
Yeah, I'm with you. I mean, go back to the Cam Riley almost interception.
Yes.
That can't be an almost interception anymore. And I don't care. I don't care how good you think LSU really is, or if they're not. You're going on the road versus a rival at night. Yeah. You know what kind of game this is, man. I don't care if LSU was 0-6. I want to win this game really, really bad. And so it's going to be the crazy Auburn versus LSU game that has always been. It's time. I'm going to keep preaching on this. Like you just said, it's time to start making the plays. It's time. Yeah. I watch college football from 11 o'clock until about midnight to 1 o'clock sometimes. Mm-hmm. And I see all these teams where they have receivers catch a 7-yard slant or a 10-yard in and break 3 tackles and turn it into a 50-yard touchdown. I see it every game I watch, with the exception of the Auburn game. It's time. Yep. It's time to do it. For 3 to 4 years now, I would say since that 2019 Iron Bowl, and maybe I'm missing a moment here or there, we have not, in the big games, made that Cam Riley interception in that moment. It's time, man. Do it. Do it Saturday night.
I agree, brother. 100%. It's got to be done. We got
to. Once you do it, Blake, it's almost a monkey off the back. Mm-hmm. Because like I've been talking about right now, man, it's this waiting on the shoe to other drop. It's just we're not going to pull it out type feeling because we haven't done it. It's like it's ingrained in the program. It's this mentality of losing. I hate to say it, but we moral victoried after Georgia. Yep. At some point, now we're going to be realistic. We know where the program is. But at some point, moral victories can't be enough.
That's a fact.
And I wouldn't mind if Saturday night was the night that started.
Dustin, let me ask you this real quick, man. I just had to get your thoughts on this. How do you feel about this Auburn team coming off a bye week? Do you feel like they come out and they're fresh and they start fast? Or do you feel like they come out sluggish, start slow? How do you feel?
I feel like everything I've seen from this team mentally and from the way they handle themselves, I don't think I've seen this team quit. Now there's some exceptions, and I'm really kind of looking at their wide receiver room where there's still some loafing that goes on. But overall, I think that this team never quits. I think this team hangs in games. That A&M game was a really good example to me because that game got ugly, and I still thought they fought. The defense versus Cal, how many times they had their back up. There's just been enough. There's just been enough to where I look at it and say this team's going to continue to fight and not fold. So I think they're going to come out full of energy. I think they're going to come out ready to go. I don't think they're phased by 3-2. I think that I wouldn't say expected. Like I talked about, I said a couple weeks ago, I think any SEC team outside of Vanderbilt, maybe they talk about it in the offseason, we're going to try to win the SEC title. That's just what any competitor is going to do. But I don't think that it's like say if Georgia was 3-2, they might start checking out, right? Because they had national title aspirations. I don't think Auburn's checking out at 3-2. I think this team, the majority of this team, this locker room, is bought into the vision. I think the majority of this room is bought in and listen to Hugh Freeze. I mean, I just don't think the locker room's poison. I don't think their locker room has given up. I think they're going to come out and fight. So I think that I think they're refreshed. I think that they feel like they have a lot of big opportunities ahead of them, and I think you're going to see a fired up Auburn team. everything I've seen from the mental aspect of this team from day one under Hugh Freeze has been steady improvement.
Mm-hmm. Let me ask you this. You think Robbie plays a big-time part in this game Saturday night. What do you think Robbie does Saturday night, and how do you think he helps this football team?
Well, this just depends on what Peyton Thorne wants to do. If Peyton Thorne wants to come out early and I would look at Philip Montgomery and Hugh Freeze and say, let's call the right plays. And Hugh, to his credit, has been open and honest and said, we have not put Peyton in the right position. So I would say you've had a whole extra week to get ready. Peyton should be put in the right position Saturday. So if he's put in the right position and he's not executing, I've been pretty vocal about it this week. It's time to make the move and make it quick. I don't think that you can continue to just sit here and wait. This is game 6. How much longer are you going to wait? You had a whole bye week to get ready. You're playing the worst defense in the SEC. I mean, I don't know. So that just depends on Peyton Thorne. I think either way, Robbie's going to have – I'd be surprised if he had less than 60 to 75 rushing yards. I think he plays a big part in this game either way. I think he makes – even if he only rushes the ball 6 or 7 times, he's going to bust a big one or two, right? Like, it's just hard to think he doesn't. If you get in the red zone, I'd bet my entire paycheck you're going to see Robbie Ashford in the red zone a lot Saturday night. Their defense struggles. Their defense struggles in every aspect. Their defense isn't any better in the red zone. And I know that maybe they kind of feel like they found something in that second half versus Mizzou. What did I talk about when I was hesitant to pick Mizzou? Because I didn't know if they were going to hold up in the big moment. And What did Mizzou do at 5-0, leading LSU at home in the big moment? They folded. I don't know if that's LSU finding something on defense or if that's just Mizzou doing Mizzou stuff. I think it's Mizzou doing Mizzou stuff. So if Peyton doesn't go early, then I think you see – because I think I don't really see a way where Robbie isn't effective on the ground in this game. And if Peyton struggles early, I think that then Robbie comes in and he starts busting off plays and you just see – and then he takes over. So as far as what his numbers will be, that depends on Peyton Thorne. But I don't see any way where Robbie doesn't have at least a handful of big plays and play a big part in this game. And if we get into that 20, you're going to see Robbie Ashford for sure. I think he's a big part of the red zone package.
I agree 100%, Dustin. I agree 100%.
Yeah, you got to take advantage of it, man. I mean, if you get him and and I'll tell you that I'll make this prediction. Jarquez is going to have over 100. Jarquez will get over 100, and this will be the game that gets his season turned around and he gets rolling right here. Because you got another defense I think you can run on next week. And they don't mess around and gave us Ole Miss at 6 o'clock. And we all know what that game means to us as a fan base. We've had that one circled all summer. We want the Ole Miss game, right?
Yep.
So, yeah, let's find something, dude. Let's find something this week, and let's go into this atmosphere super, super hype coming back home next Saturday. So I think Jarquez is going to eat, and I think Robbie has a big day. Before we get over here and make our picks for the week, guys, if you haven't, go over there to homefieldapparel.com. Use the code UPTEMPO to get 15% off your first purchase. If you want to rock this shirt that I got on right here, the UPTEMPO Level Up shirt, go to the warreportshop.com and go over there and get that for us. If you want to sign up for the memberships, the join button is right there. You have to do it on your desktop. We have 2 levels, the JV and the varsity level, man. Multiple podcasts just for our members there. We're now dropping 2 for our members. Varsity Squad, you get both of them. JV, you get one as well, man. Recruiting Pod. Checking out baseball, basketball, going all around Auburn. Right now, we're calling it all around the Plains podcast. Just checking in on everything going on, man. Because it's that time, Blake. Basketball starting up, fall ball. We got some baseball stuff coming on the way in the next week or two. Be on the lookout for that, man. And those guys are getting their practice in. They're getting ready for fall ball. Gonzo back on the mound, man. We're fired up for that. So a lot of good stuff, a lot of exclusive content coming out just for our members and. Man, you guys keep us going. It helps us out a lot. Like we said before, all the money gets pumped back into this podcast, and we just really appreciate you guys supporting us. It means the world to us. All right, taking a quick glance at last week, Blake got me on the LSU. I picked Mizzou. Blake rolled with LSU. Blake got me there. And then we both pick A&M over Bama, and that will be the last time that I pick against Bama, at least until the Iron Bowl. And Blake is 49-11. I am 46-14. So let's hop over here and make these picks for this week, Blake. I know that we're pretty much on the same page. We differ in one.
Yeah, here we go. Let's throw them up here.
Bang, bang.
Man, We're different on one. Look, the Georgia game, all right, Vanderbilt. That's a no-brainer, Dustin. Right?
Right.
At Vandy, do they have the end zone ready yet? Do they have the end zone? I don't know. I think that's a no-brainer. Georgia, I think they blow them out. What's the spread? The spread's 31.5. Oh, man. I think Georgia beats them by 40, man.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah, I have nothing to say there. They're gonna crush Vanderbilt.
and then Arkansas and at Alabama. I mean, we both obviously take Alabama. Arkansas, I told you last week what Arkansas is about. You got to see KJ Jefferson. They crumble in the moment. That's who they are. All right, let's not get it twisted, brother. So it was obviously the easy choice was Alabama, right, Dustin?
I saw some Gus Malzahn to Arkansas stuff popping up this week. I said, "Here we go."
Guess what, Dustin? Guess what? Gus Malzahn to Arkansas. If they do want that, which he just got the extension to UCF, but that doesn't mean anything. You can throw around money and all that. He would much rather go back home to Arkansas, I do believe. But that just shows me that you're true 8-4. You're 8-4 forever. All right, that's what you're always going to be if you want Gus. So kudos to you. Enjoy Gus. Try to go get him. I don't know who they get, but like I try to tell some of the folks on Twitter, it don't matter who you get. You're a loser. You always will be. Period. I'm sorry. I don't know what else to tell you, brother. So, you want to move on to Texas A&M and Tennessee?
Yeah. I was surprised that we both picked. I thought maybe one of us was going to pick Tennessee here. Why are you going with A&M?
I'm going with A&M because I watched Tennessee's front in Gainesville get manhandled, and I also watched their offensive line get manhandled against Florida. They couldn't run the football down in Gainesville, Dustin. So if you're getting manhandled by Florida, I'm looking at this A&M front. Are they going to run the ball against A&M?
Nope.
Are you the biggest Joe Milton believer yet?
No, I'm off the train. I mean, I never was really on it, but I was giving him a little more time than everybody else was.
Yeah.
And that I jumped off of Tennessee completely in Gainesville because you know how I feel about Florida.
Exactly. So I think it all starts with Tennessee is a run first team, brother. Somebody's awake. Somebody's awake.
Right at pick time.
Yeah. I think Tennessee's bread and butter is the run game, but I don't think they're going to be able to run the football. All right, this year. And look, I know they run the offense that they run, right? And they love to air it out. Mm-hmm. But with Joe Milton, it's not the same as it was with Hendon Hooker, dog. It's not. Yeah. You saw that down in Gainesville. And I don't know if they're going to be able to do it. Like Joe Milton's going to have to play his best game this Saturday. I know it's in Knoxville. I know it's in Neyland Stadium. But I'm not worried about that with Texas A&M. All right.
Max Johnson won't be rattled by that.
Yeah, Max Johnson, he's played in big environments. He knows what he's got to do. I thought he played pretty dang good against Alabama for his offensive line woes and everything. They had a chance to, tie it up late. That's why I like A&M, man. I like Max Johnson. I know their secondary is terrible, but I'm just not sure Joe Milton will be able to expose their secondary.
I agree with that, and I think this game is one of the trenches. I think A&M beats Tennessee in the trenches. I know the spread was 3 last time I looked, and they're giving Tennessee the 3 because they're at home. So, yeah, I'm rolling with A&M here. And then South Carolina at Florida, Blake. Look, I'm disappointed in South Carolina this year. I thought that they were going to get to 8 wins, maybe 9, and kind of continue the upward trajectory of that program. And I still think they're going the right direction recruiting-wise, but they've got to figure out a way to start it. And this year, their offensive line has just really been –
it's awful.
It's unbelievably bad, and it sucks because the growth that Spencer Rattler has made on the field and off the field, and he's just not getting the opportunity to show that. I'm sure the NFL scouts are seeing it, and ultimately he's going to get picked up and find a good situation for him, hopefully. But it's tough to watch right now. But I don't like Florida. I don't think Florida is any good. I still think that they are the right there with Vanderbilt battling for the. Well, I guess Vanderbilt, you are the worst team. Florida just won the battle. But
Yeah.
I'm not a believer in Florida, man. I still think that South Carolina's a better team. I'm going South Carolina.
Same here, man. That offensive line at South Carolina has really let me down, Dustin. I think they gave up 9 sacks to North Carolina. Yeah, the Fighting Chiznets over there. That defense. That shocked me, man. They just haven't been good this year. But the growth of Spencer Rattler has been fun to watch, man. What a guy. Completely turned it around. Super proud of him because he's a guy that caught a lot of flack in the media. They said he was, a baby and he was immature and everything. And then he transferred from Oklahoma, and he figured it out, man. He figured it out, and he's playing well. So I like South Carolina.
Okay. The one that we're different on this week, Blake.
Yeah.
You going with Kentucky. I'm going with Mizzou. Look, I think Mizzou's got a really good offense, and obviously their defense got exposed a little bit last week. LSU's still a really good team. Mizzou's just not going to ever capitalize in the big moments, I don't guess, but Kentucky's not a big moment, and I think that Mizzou's just a better team. I don't think that Kentucky can score enough points to hang with Missouri. I know Kentucky's defense is good. That's kind of the 52 versus Georgia. Like, man, listen, Georgia's about to get rolling, okay? They got over that. They got over that hurdle. That was us on the road, and I'm telling you, that's going to be a pivotal moment in their season. They're about to get going. I think Georgia's kind of found themselves, and Kentucky just doesn't. They don't have the athletes to match up with a team like Georgia. Man, that was what it was. I do think Kentucky has a decent defense, but I think Mizzou just has too much on offense, and I'm not a believer in Devin Leary at all. So I'm going to go with Kentucky or Missouri. I think their passing game is just too much for Kentucky to handle.
Man, this is the one that I was least confident about, and the only reason I took Kentucky was because they're at home at the Kroger. All right. If this was in Columbia, Missouri, I would take Missouri in a heartbeat. But with this being in Kentucky, in Lexington, I'm going to take the Cats. I think they bounce back. They got to see they got a tough dose of reality when you talk trash to me every day at work, Eric Hall. And you're a Kentucky fan, and you walk in every day and tell me that my Auburn Tigers suck. When I respond to you and tell you that you will die never getting to see your team play for a national championship. Okay. Your great grandchildren will never get to see Kentucky play for a national championship or even compete for one or even be in the stadium to sing the national anthem or not even in the seats. All right. That's how bad you are as a football program. Now, you've come a long way from what you used to be, but, I mean, you're not good, and we saw it last Saturday night. I mean, I turned it off after 3 drives. Come on now. I mean, but I've stayed on Eric's neck all week, and we made a little deal today. I told him, I said, man, don't ever compare yourself to the Auburn football program, and we made a little deal this week, and I took the Wildcats. So I'm on his side Saturday, but come Sunday, I'm back off that train. So.
I hear you. All right, man. The one that everybody cares about here, obviously, our Auburn Tigers going to LSU. We obviously on the graphic there, we both got LSU. If you're listening on audio, and I'll tell you why I got LSU. I got LSU 35-31. Yep. I'm going 35-31 because until I see Auburn make the plays in that moment, I will not believe in it. I think that it'll be a close game in the fourth quarter. I think the plays will be there to be made, whether it be on offense, whether it be on defense, the Cam Riley interception or whatever, or whether it be a wide open play in the end zone or anything like that. I just don't think we make the play, and I got to see it to believe it. And at some point we'll make it, and at some point this thing's going to start to turn around. But I haven't seen it yet, so I got to see that. And I'm going to go 35-31 LSU. I really hope that I'm wrong about this one, Blake.
As you can see, little Levi's head right there. He is up and he is jumping around. So
he's ready to roll.
Yeah, man. Look, if this game was in Jordan-Hare, I'm rolling with our Tigers, but it is not. We're just having to go into a hostile environment. And I just can't trust the offense right now to make this upset pick. I'm kind of feeling like Mike G, man. Prove me wrong, right? Prove me wrong. I don't think we give up 40.
No.
I think we lose a close one. I think we lose. I'm going to say we lose 34-27. I think Jaden Daniels makes a play at the end, and they go up on us, and we can't get it back. So I hate it. I want a bug, but it's tough, man, on the road in that environment. But I do have a little special picker. All right, little guest appearance right here. All right, my man Levi. All right, my man Levi. He told me
Levi.
Yeah, my man Levi told me last night. He said, "Dad, I like the Auburn Tigers."
Okay.
All right. And he said, "I like the Auburn Tigers," and he we sat down last night for bed, and I said, "Hey, you like them Auburn Tigers? What's the score?" And Levi said that he is taking the Auburn Tigers 38-35 in Baton Rouge on a Saturday night. So that's our guest pick right there.
Yes, sir. Well, hey, you tell Levi, boy, if we put up 38, that Sunday show will be Bug City, bro. Yeah. Bug City. All right, man. Well, look, I'll give my final thoughts real quick. I know Blake has got to get out of here. I just want to say this. I know Blake will co-sign on it. Coaches, this weekend, for the love of God, if you're winning the game in the last possession, knee the ball. Just knee the ball, bro. You ain't got nothing to prove. This ain't Madden where you're trying to get extra stats for your franchise or whatever, or my career mode. Just knee the ball, Mario. You know, listen, if it's 4th and 5 and it's the second quarter and it's 14-14 and you're on the wrong side of the 50, just punt it. Just punt it. You ain't got to try to win the ball game in the second quarter. Listen, man, if you're down there in the first half and you stall out on the 9-yard line, you're probably not going to score 9 yards out on the 4th and goal. Kick the field goal, man. I don't even care if it's 4th and 3. Kick the field goal, man. Unless you're getting blown out by 21 points, take the points. To all the coaches this week, don't try to reinvent the wheel. Football's not that complicated. Your punter can be your friend. You never know. You can punt that ball, and then 2 plays later, they might throw an interception. They might fumble the snap. Hell, you might get a stop, and then they go to punt it, and they snap it over their punter's head. You really have no idea. Just keep playing the game, and I don't – whatever this crazy crap I've been seeing this year, and then you got the guy over there in the NFL that's coaching the Chargers. My goodness, son. I mean, that guy just – listen, football's been played for 100-something years. I don't know who came in with this whole analytics thing and just tried to – and I'm not saying analytics is bad. You can use it in certain situations to your advantage. But goodness gracious, man, let's just play fundamental football this week and do the right thing. I mean, what I saw in Miami was just disrespectful and ungodly. And we appreciate all you guys, man. If you have not – like the video, subscribe to the channel. We continue to grow here at the Up Tempo Podcast. We greatly appreciate all y'all. We will see you guys Sunday, like we said last week. No 3 p.m. anymore. It will just drop Sunday when we get done with it, and should be sometime around lunchtime, maybe a little bit before that when that'll pop up for you guys. So let's go get a win. Let's beat LSU. War Damn Eagle. We will see you guys Sunday. We're out. Love y'all all. Appreciate it.